हरे कृष्णा प्रेमवस्य प्रभु दंडवत प्रणाम प्रभु जी। प्रभु जी यू आर नॉट ऑडिबल प्रभु जी।
ऑडियो। हरे
प्रभु
कृष्णा।
जी कैन हरे कृष्णा प्रभु दंडवत प्रणाम प्रभु जी। Are we okay प्रभु to start?
यस।
हरे कृष्णा devotees दंडवत प्रणाम. Welcome to Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. Today we are very glad and fortunate to have the association of His Grace Premavasya Prabhu, who will be sharing the nectar from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto number 5, chapter number 19 and Sloka number 20. Prabhu ji, over to you Prabhu.
Can you show sloka over here?
Yes Prabhu ji, it's visible Prabhu.
Welcome all. So it is very fortunate that we are discussing this sloka today. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manovistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapada. वंदेहं श्रीगुरु श्रीजुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं सागरजातं सहगना रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजना सहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगना ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितं हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगत्पते गोपेशा गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिया वंशाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितनां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमा श्लोके भक्ति भवतु मे स्थिति। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. So today we are going to discuss on Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 5, Chapter 19, text number 20. Very important verse. यो असौ भगवते सर्वभूतानि अनात्मये निरुक्त निलयेन परमात्मनि वासुदेवे अनन्या निमित्त भक्ति योग लक्षणो नानागति निमित्त विद्या ग्रंथिरंधान द्वारेण यदा हि महापुरुष पुरुष प्रसंगः। Synonyms है प्रभु श्री प्रभुपाद की जय। Synonyms यह anyone who assault that Bhagavati onto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sarva Bhuta Atmani, the super soul of all living entities, Anatmaya, having no attachment, Anirukta, who is beyond the mind and speech, Anilayene, not dependent on anything else, Paramatmani, onto the supreme soul, Vasudeva, Lord Vasudeva, the son of Vasudeva, Ananya, without any other, Nimitta, cause, Bhakti Yoga Lakshana, having symptoms of pure devotion service, Nana Gati, of various destinations, Nimitta, the cause, Avidya, Granthi, the bondage of ignorance, Randhana, of cutting, Dwarena, by means, Yada, when, he indeed, Mahapurusa, of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Purusha, the devotee, Prasangaha, and intimate relationship. Translation: after many, many births, when the results of one's pious activities mature, one gets an opportunity to associate with your devotees. Then one is able to cut the knot of bondage to ignorance, which bound him because of varied fruitive activities. As a result of associating with devotees, one gradually renders service to Lord Vasudeva, who is transcendental, free from attachment to material world, beyond the mind and words, and independent of everything else. Then Bhakti Yoga, devotional service to Lord Vasudeva, is the real path of liberation. Purport: Brahman realization is the beginning of liberation, and Paramatma realization is still further advancements toward the realm of liberation. But one achieves real liberation when he understands his position as an eternal servant of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Muktir hitva anyatha rupam sarupena vyavasthitina. In the material world, in the bodily concept of life, everyone is working in the wrong direction. When one becomes a Brahma Bhuta, is spiritually realized, one understands that he is not the body and that working in the bodily concept of life is useless and misdirected. Then his devotional service begins. As Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma na sochati na kamchati sama sarvesu bhutesu mad bhaktin lavate param. One who is thus transcendentally situated realizes the Supreme Brahman and becomes fully joyful. He never laments or desires to have anything. He is equally disposed to every living entity. In that state, he attains pure devotional service unto me. Devotional service is actual liberation. When one is attracted by the beauty of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and his mind is always engaged at the Lord's lotus feet, he is no longer interested in subjects that do not help him in self-realization. In other words, he loses all attraction for material activities. In the Taittiriya Upanishad, it is said, Esa hi evanandeti yada hi evaisa etasmin na drisye anatmaye anirukte anilena bhayam pratistam bindate tat atha sa bhayam gato bhavati. A living entity becomes established in a spiritual, blissful life when he fully understands that his happiness depends on spiritual realization, which is the basic principle of ananda, bliss, and when he is eternally situated in the service of the Lord, who has no other Lord above him. So this verse number 20, is the follow-up from the verse number 14. So in the 14th verse, Narad Muni is praying and he says, materialists are generally very attached to their present bodily comforts and to the bodily comforts they expect in future. Therefore, they are always absorbed in thoughts of their wives, children, wealth, and are afraid of giving up their bodies, which are full of stool and urine. If a person engaged in Krishna consciousness, however, is also afraid of giving up his body, what is the use of his having labored to study the Shastras? It was simply a waste of time. So from this text 14, this explanation follows. And therefore, in text 15, he says, therefore, O Lord, transcendence, O Lord, O transcendence, kindly help us by giving us the power to execute Bhakti Yoga so that we can control our restless minds and fix upon you. We are all infected by your illusory energy. Therefore, we are very attached to the body, which is full of stool and urine, and to anything related with the body. Except for devotional service, there is no way to give up this attachment. Therefore, kindly bestow upon this benediction. So all those verses after text 14 are onto the point of this text 14. So once we understand this text 14, and then we understand the text 20 as well. So we already have discussed text 14 in previous classes, so we'll not go on to this, but we will discuss only the text 20. So here, one very important point here is that after many births, when results of one's pious activity mature, one gets an opportunity to associate with pure devotees. This word is very powerful. So actually, in the association of pure devotee is not the result of pious activities. The result of pious activities are the opulences in material world, better facility for sense enjoyment, and the results of impious activities that our senses are put into trouble. We suffer because of senses. The senses do not get the enjoyment, and we suffer a lot. But pious activities, they they are of various nature. So, pious activities performed in terms of serving the cows, the brahmanas, and the deities. Such pious activities becomes nimitta. Nimitta means Lord will say, okay, he makes a pretext that on this pretext, I grant you an opportunity to associate with pure devotees. So it only grants an opportunity to associate. It does not grant further devotional life. This is very important. For example, just now the Janmashtami is over, right? So during Janmashtami, many people would have rendered their service, I mean, as a part of their devotional service, and somebody would have come to do something service by payment. So they would receive some payments. So for example, one flower decorator, he decorated the Lord and the entire mandapa very nicely. And a very senior devotee comes up to him and says, we are very happy with your service. Let us know anything we can help you. So this is a chance that he gets to associate with the senior devotee. But he can misutilize the chance. He may say that, Prabhuji, the payment is still pending. Can you help me to get the payment? And then the payment is done, and then he walks away. So he got an opportunity because he served on for the Janmashtami celebration. He got an opportunity to directly talk to very senior devotees, sannyasis. They're very happy. They come to him, but he only is worried about his payment, and he takes the payment and goes out. He could have asked that, Prabhuji, I want to understand this, why you are celebrating Janmashtami in so grand way. What is the importance? I have some problem. I want to ask you that I want to understand what you're doing. So that can open a discussion about the bhakti yoga and about the devotion service, and he may get a chance to associate and get involved. I personally know in one of the temple there was one security guard. The security guard was serving, and then suddenly after some time he changed the security guard role. He became driver for the temple, and after serving as a driver for the temple, he joined as brahmachari. And I asked him. Then he said that I enjoy the serving Lord, but because I was getting payments, my mind was on the payment, but not on the service. But now I have left job, and then I'm serving the Lord full time. So this is how the power of association happens. So one gets an opportunity. Similarly, this pious activity matures for the entire community as well. For example, a temple comes up in a community. So the pious activity or the people around the temple is like one can say that their pious activities mature, and Lord's by mercy has granted them a chance by having a temple in that community, so that everyone around the temple gets an opportunity to hear the Bhagavatam, attend the temple programs, and also associate with devotees. But somebody will make use of this opportunity, and others will not make use this opportunity. So it is said that after many, many births, when results of one pious activity mature, one gets an opportunity to associate with your devotees. So this Lord grants us an opportunity. So we get opportunity to associate with devotee in different forms. We get to associate with devotees in the form of in presence, in the physical presence. We get opportunity to associate with devotees in the form of books. So if someone happens to get the books of Srila Prabhupada, they get a chance to read Vedic literatures, they get a chance to hear some lectures, they get a chance to hear it online, offline. So these are all the opportunity to associate with your devotees. But somebody will utilize it, somebody will not utilize it. But we get a chance to utilize this. So I have prepared one slide and to discuss more on this topic. So is my slide visible, Boo? Yeah. So the core point to understand here is that liberation is not mechanical. So one cannot say that because I have spent say 2 lakh years in this material world in various species and planets, and now I must get liberated. Sometimes it may happen that, for example, a person is working in a company and he says that now I need to get promoted. And the company would say that it is not an automatic process. You don't get promoted because you are working in this company. You must possess and showcase your skills and ability for that next job grade or next position that you are aspiring. Then only you get. It's not automatic. Similarly, the liberation is also not mechanical. One cannot say that I have spent so many lives, I have been suffering, please grant me liberation from this material world. That will not happen. So one may spend life very miserably. So sometimes miserable, sometimes very happy position, but not get liberated mechanically or automatically. And liberation does not come by cutting avidya grant, the knot of ignorance. So once anyone enters ISKCON temple or attends Bhagavatam class, he immediately comes to know that we are not this body. We are eternal soul. And then we also hear about the characteristic of the soul. Na hannate hanyamane sarire. So we understand that the soul is eternal and suffering of the body is not the suffering of the soul, because soul is suffering because soul is attached to this body and to the enjoyment. And then who is this eternal soul? The eternal soul is the part and parcel of Lord Krishna, who is Sachidananda Vigraha. And therefore the soul is also Sachidananda Vigraha. And he's fully enjoyful and he's part and parcel of Supreme Lord. And what is his position in relation to the Supreme Lord? So the soul is the servant of the Supreme Lord. So we get information the first day one attends Bhagavatam class in ISKCON. But knowing this much is not does not grant him liberation. One may know this, but so it means that the not ignorance is not there. He knows that this body is just a bag of bones, stool, urine, mucus, blood, and whatnot. You can just open up your you can just see when the body is open. So this I am not this. So this not ignorance is not there. So one knows the fact that we are not this body, but just by knowing that we are not this body, one is not granted liberation. So liberation is not granted by just cutting the avidya granthi randhena. Avidya granthi randhena. It doesn't happen. So just by knowing is not enough. So one is not liberated just by knowing that we are not this body, but eternal soul. We are part and parcel of Krishna. We are his servant. So only this much information is not enough for one to get liberation. Then liberation is also not achieved by speculative knowledge. So Jnana Yoga, if you go in Jnana Yoga and study about the 24 elements in this material creation, about the Prithvi, Jal, Agni, Vayu, Akash, Earth, Fire, Air, Ethers, and then the senses and the sense objects and the time factor, everything. You just keep studying about them, and then you just think about it and learn the grammatical rules so that you can learn the Vedas properly and performing different kinds of uh, yagyas and austerity also does not help one to become liberated. So perform different kinds of austerity. So sometimes people would fast, sometimes just like Hiranyakasipu, he did a great austerity and Lord Brahma was pleased. But when Lord Brahma came to him, he did not ask him for bhakti, but he rather asked him that somehow his material body should become immortal. And Lord Brahma said, my dear son, this is not possible to anyone, for anyone to have this material body immortal, because this is not the nature of this material world. It is bhutva bhutta pralyata. It is always changing. It will keep changing. This is not the nature. So you understand your nature, that you are the eternal soul, and but you want to make this something which is not eternal as eternal. That's not possible. Not possible for you with this body. Then he asks that I may be granted that I will not be killed in so many ways. So actually, we also have inherited the Hiranyakasipu mentality with us. So we think that if I'm able to fix my diabetes, then I may not die. If I'm able to control my weight, I may not die. If I'm able to control my triglycerides, my lipid profiles, my kidney profiles, I will not die. So we do health checkup every year. So that is good. That is good. But you should not think that uh, like if we are able to negate all the causes of death in this world, then the people will not die. Sometimes you also hear that in future there will be a time that no one will die, because we will have all kinds of these gadgets, and even the complete heart will be able to replace, even the entire brain will be able to replace. So it's like the servicing of the car. So the car becomes old, but you change the tire, you change the silencer, and you change the AC, you change even the engine, you change everything, you keep changing the different parts, but you still think that the car is going to be there for forever. And we are thinking that this body will become like that also, and like that similarly, that it's not going to die by this process or that process. So we have several advancement in all the scientific and the medical field. And so this like extension of Hiranyakasipu mentality, that by this process or that process, we are not going to die. But there will always be a loophole where the soul will leave the body. So in previously, people used to perform great austerity. They will not eat anything, and they will extend by putting fire in all the places around the body, in the June July months, and that in the afternoon time when the sun is on the head and it's very hot, they will have fire around them and sit in the fire. And in the month of Magha, or in the severe cold situation, they would stand in water up to their chest, and then do tapasya and do prayer. So all this thing is not going to grant us liberation. So we should not blindly believe that they will grant us liberation. And liberation also not achieved by renunciation. So even if you say that I will renounce everything and then I will achieve liberation. That is also not possible. So by renouncing whatever you have, it is not possible to achieve renunciation. So somebody says that I have renounced all my wealth and I have renounced all my fame, I have renounced whatever I have. So that renunciation also is not going to grant us liberation. So in Bhagavad Gita also, Lord never says that sannyasi is the perfect yogi. He never says like that. So renunciation is also not enough to get us liberated. So then how the liberation is achieved? Okay. So liberation is you only achieve by what it says that yo aso Bhagavate sarvabhutani anatmaya anirukte anilayena paramatmani vasudevi. So you also devotional service unto. So in Sanskrit, uh, these words are used Bhagavati, Bhutani, Anatmayena, Nirukte, Nilayena, Paramatmani, Vasudeve. So all these words that are chosen, it means that to whom? To whom? So Bhagavati, so you also devotional service unto whom? So Bhagavati, in the Supreme Lord. So Bhagavati word signifies that Bhaga means the opulence, and one who possesses the all different kind, all the six types of opulences. So all the fame, all renunciation, all the prowess, all the money, all the famous person, all the strength. So this all the six bhaga, one who possesses is the supreme, is the Bhagavati onto that person. And then what the Father says, Sarva Bhuta Atmani. That Bhagavati is also Sarva Bhuta Atmani. He is the super soul of all living beings. So one should uh, perform devotional service unto the one who is Sarva Bhuta Atmani. He is the super soul of all beings. And then Anatma, and he is having no attachment in the material world or material self, or he is the transcendental reality. So Anatma. So that person is Anatma. And then another word is uh, Anirukte. So Anirukta means one who is beyond our mind and speech. Adhoksada, agochara. So it's not possible that we can see by our eyes. We cannot we cannot capture him in our mind. We cannot describe him in any kind of words. So he is Anirukta. Anirukta is not describable. Then Anilayene. Nilay means house or some residence or some dwelling place. So Anilayana is not dependent on anything else. In the one who has no material resting place, or Anilayana means he is all pervading. So Anilayane. And then Paramatmani onto the supreme soul. So one is Sarva Bhuta Atmani, the soul of all living beings, and the Paramatmani, the supreme soul. And who possesses all this? This is Vasudeva. Vasudeva Krishna. So liberation is achieved only by performing devotional service unto Bhagavati, Sarva Bhuta Atmani, Anatmaye, Anirukte, Anilayene, Paramatmani, Vasudeve. So many these phrases are given just to make our mind focused on what is being said, and it also gives the characteristics of the Lord also. So we understand who the Lord is. So he is Bhagavati. He possesses all the different kind of opulences. He is Sarvabhuta Atmani. He is the soul of all beings. Anatma. He is no attachment. Is not material. He is transcendental. And Anirukte, we cannot describe him by any words, although we say that he possesses the color of a rain-filled blue, blackish cloud. But what is that composition? Is very difficult. No, it's not possible to paint that color and describe it. We also hear the description that when Lord is wearing the blue garment, it appears like a lightning in the sky, when it is fully rain filled and there is about to rain. So that this lightning is science like lightning in the dark blue sky. But it is very difficult to describe. But this description helps us to be Krishna conscious. So whenever now it's rainy season, you look at in the sky, and then one can remember Lord Krishna. Whenever there is lightning in the sky, one can remember this verse that this appears to be like the yellow garment of the Lord. So, but anyway, it is very difficult. One cannot describe in the mind or by speech. Anirupte, anilayene. It's not dependent on anything. There's no resting place. It's not dependent on any no resting place. See, our resting place is my house. So I am resting in my house. So I need a place to rest. I need a residence. But Lord is anilayane. He's all pervading. We cannot say that he's localized at one place. He is localized at one place as well, but he's also all pervading. So he's simultaneously both. In Veda, this is the process. It is says that he's not that, neti, neti, like that. So na iti, na iti, na iti. So similarly, in the same way to say na anatme, na iti, na anirupte, na iti, na alin, na anilene, na iti. So that like niti, neti, na iti, na iti. Lord is not like that. Lord is not like that. Lord is not like that. So, so there is no way to describe Lord, and therefore the Veda says not like that, not like this. So they negate everything that we are able to see, that our mind is able to capture, our intelligence is able to understand, our speech is able to describe. Veda would say naiti, naiti, naiti. The Paramatmani and Vasudeva. So Vasudeva Krishna, the son of Nanda Maharaj. So he is the Supreme Lord. And then liberation is achieved by devotion service. What is the nature of that devotion service? So this verse says, Ananya Nimitta Bhakti Yoga Lakshano. So this verse also says, this verse says that devotional service is only way to achieve the liberation. So liberation is not automatic, it is not mechanical, it is not achieved simply because I have been living and suffering in this world for many births and many years, and now I should be liberated. So this is not possible. Liberation is only achieved at devotional service. But what is the nature of that devotional service is described in this verse as Ananya Nimitta Bhakti Yoga Lakshana. So Lakshana means the essential. So real bhakti must be without ulterior causes. So there should not be any other cause to perform the devotional service. And the devotion is not mixed with any kind of karma, jnana, or desire. So we know this verse. So that bhakti is not mixed with any kind of karma, jnana, and desires, and it must be without any ulterior motive. In Bhagavad Gita, chapter 6, verse 14, Lord says, Mana Sayamya Machitto Yukta Asita Matparaha. Mana Sayamya Machitto Yukta Asita Matparaha. So Lord Krishna says to Arjuna and to everyone who reads the Bhagavad Gita, and that Machitta Yukta Asita Matpara. So our mind should be engaged in Lord, and our goal should also be Lord Krishna. So it is not that my mind is dwelling in the material world and then my goal is Lord Krishna. So that is not possible. So if my mind is only thinking about this material world, In the previous verse in this chapter, in Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 5, this chapter 19, there is a verse in which we discusses that what is the nature of Lord? That Lord mind is not polluted. Lord vision, Lord mind is not polluted by this material world. What does that mean? It means that, for example, if I see uh, something to eat, I get attached to it. A man sees a beautiful woman, his mind get attached. Similarly, a woman sees a good man, then their mind get attached. So even they know that this body is full of stool is bone and nothing else. I mean, if one does not take a bath for one day, his body will smell like a hell. Even if I don't clean my teeth in the in the morning, my mouth will smell like a hell. It's not possible for anyone to talk to me nearby. So we apply so many things so that my body is not smelling, it's not giving out foul smell. But because everything inside is very foul. I mean, a person may love the person. I may love my children, but if you say that take this bag and this is full of stool, this is a stool of your child, but I will not carry that bag of stool. But I'm carrying the stool in the body of my child in my hand. So my child is sleeping with in my lap, and then I'm hugging him. I'm with him every time. But I don't. The moment he passes stool, I don't like it. I just throw it out. I just want to wash my hand, and I feel that this is bad and the smell is not good. But it is the same material inside, but it's very good covering is there. So Lord has covered it so nicely, and we get attached. So if our mind, although knowing all these things, mind is attached to the material world, and the goal is that we want to achieve liberation, is not possible. So one should meditate upon me within the heart and make me the ultimate goal of life. So these two should go together. Mat chitta. So chitta means our mind and heart should be attached to Lord Krishna, and also mat paraha. And then our goal should also be to attain service to Lord Krishna. So sometimes I chant, but my goal of life is not Krishna, but something which I get from him. And sometimes I make Krishna as my goal of my life, but the mind is full of thought and material world. So this does not go together. In Vedic literatures, we see that there are many processes where we need to follow the rules and do some yajna, some worships, and although somebody fasting for 9 days, 10 days, but but they are thinking of the deity that they are worshipping. But the goal is that I should get a 2 BHK house. The goal is to get a car. The goal is to get a job promotion. The goal is to get married. Many times we have heard that a person does this Dandavati Parikrama of the Govardhan Hill, which is around um, 21-kilometer long, and it takes long time. And the goal is that he want to achieve something material. So there is a problem. So Lord said, Mana Sayamya wants to control the mind and then become Mat Chitta. So mind will go here and there, but wants to control the mind and bring it, become Mat Chitta, and then Yukta Asita Mat Paraha. So our mind should be engaged in Krishna, and we should also, the goal should be Krishna. So there are three steps. One step that I should remember that I am part and parcel of Lord Krishna. I am servant Lord Krishna. I should always remember this. And so I become Lord Krishna's, and then therefore I chant Lord Krishna's name for pleasure of Lord Krishna. And there should not be anything else in between. So I belong to Lord Krishna, and I perform dutiful service to please him, and there's nothing else. So that is the state that Lord Krishna wants, and that is the state, that is a kind of bhakti, Ananya Nimitta. Bhakti Yoga Lakshana. So nimitta means something we want. So just like Lord says, nimitta bhava sabhyasachin. We just become the cause. So there is no anna-nimitta. So there is no anna-nimitta bhakti. So for bhakti yoga, there is no anna-nimitta. On ananya-nimitta, there is no other nimitta. So ananya bhakti means that I am not dependent on anything. I'm just dependent on Lord Krishna, and I'm not dependent on my strength. I'm not dependent on my money. I'm not dependent on my people around me. I'm not dependent on my karma. I'm not dependent on my jnana. I'm not dependent on anything else. But I'm just worshiping Lord Krishna because I'm part and parcel of Lord Krishna, and my purpose is to please Lord Krishna, and there is no other purpose than this. So this is Ananya Nimitta. Ananya Nimitta, there is no other Nimitta or cause for performing my divine service. It is not that why you perform divine service. So once we are discussing with one new devotee in the temple, and he said, "I whenever I come to temple, I do chanting. I feel peaceful. My mind is peaceful, and then whenever I go out, I'm again into my job and to my business. But whenever I come to temple, my mind is peaceful. Therefore, I come to temple and do chanting. So he's coming to get peacefulness, but that is not the purpose of Bhakti Yoga. So even my mind is agitated, my mind is suffering, my body is suffering. And but then also I keep chanting, I keep performing divine service because the purpose of performing divine service is not to get a peaceful mind, not to get a healthy body, but to please Lord Krishna. Just like I mean, you see in the morning, those who have small children, sometimes the mothers or the father, they are not well, and the mother need to cook some breakfast for them, and they get up in the morning, although their body is not allowing to them, but their children need to go to school, and they need to prepare some breakfast, get them ready, send them to school, and they after that they may lie down in the bed or go to doctor or seek medical advice. But but the purpose is not that because my children is going to school, I feel very happy that one day he will. So not that, because it is his duty that he's performing, and for that he mother and father, they do everything. Similarly, it is not that I get peace in the mind. I feel good when I go to temple. People they respect me. They call me Prabhu. They call me Mataji, and therefore I feel very so happy. No one criticizes me there, and they everyone loves me. So I go to temple. So this becomes the nimitta. This kind of different kind of nimitta to go to temple and to perform bhakti yoga. So it may be the nimitta to start the devotional life in the association of devotee. The devotee loves you, they care for you, but that should not be the nimitta to bhakti yoga in the advanced stages, or when you understand the Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita and the messages that we are studying now. So bhakti yoga, the characteristic, the lakshana of the bhakti yoga is ananya nimitta. There should not be any other nimitta. So meditate on Krishna, making service to Krishna as goal. And if our mind is like a big mad elephant, then only way to control is by Ankusa and the Mahavata. So Ankusa is a small iron rod which the rider is called Mahavata, the person who sits on the elephant, he has in his hand, and the elephant is controlled by the Ankusa. So we should have person whose instruction acts like Ankusa for our mind. That means it is said no meat eating, no intoxication, no gambling, no illicit sex. So no means no, right? So that acts like an ankusa for our mind, as this mind is very powerful and uncontrollable. So once we're discussing with among the devotees, and some says that it is very difficult to control our mind when we go out and when we are not in the association of devotee. So association of devotee is not permanent. Even Prabhupada says that I am not going to stay here physically for you. but my instruction will stay for you and for the generations to come in the form of my books, in the form of my lectures. And if the instruction in the book and if the lecture acts like an ankusha for our mind, that it is written in the books, and then I must follow it. It's like an ankusha. I mean, once said, it is said. Left, then left, right, then right. Otherwise, if that is not the case, then the mind is very powerful and uncontrollable. For example, I said to him, so the devotee to whom I was talking, he is an advocate. So I said that suppose you are in the courtroom, and the judge say something to you, and then you feel that your mind, you are not feeling good and you don't want to talk to today, but this is a very important, I mean, case that you are fighting for, and your client needs judgment, and you need to speak, you need to talk to judges, you need to put your argument. So, and you cannot behave differently. So the presence in the courtroom, the presence of the judges act like the ankusha for us, right? So we don't behave differently, just like students when the teacher is there. So when the teacher is there, it looks like ankusha. Similarly, in the temple, when we are in the association devotee, when we are association of the Guru Maharaj, their presence is like ankusha for us. We may be your mind may be going here and there, but if we are in association of someone whom we respect, whose guidance you follow, then it becomes like ankusha for us. But the more powerful is that when when the instruction becomes ankusha for us, the person may not be in person present with us, but if the instruction is like ankusha, it controls our mind. That even our mind is saying something, but if the instruction says don't do this, do this, and then we say to mind, oh, that dear mind, you may not like it or you may like it, but the instruction is this way and you'll do it. Then and that is the way to control the mind. Otherwise, the mind is very powerful and not, it's uncontrollable. So in other words, when Arjuna said that, oh Krishna, the mind is very powerful. It is more. I can control the I can control the wind, but I cannot control the mind. And then Lord said the abhyasa. So we need to do practice of following the instructions of Guru Maharaj, following the instructions of the Shastra, following the instructions. So our mind needs to adapt to follow the instruction. And that is what we teach to small children as well, to follow the instruction. Once the instruction is passed, you must follow it. And that is what it is taught in the army, that you follow the instruction when it is passed. So this is what. So once we start following the instruction, and that acts like ankusha, and that is the way to control the mind. So if in our life there is no one whose instruction acts like ankusha for us, then our mind is uncontrollable. It's very powerful, and it does not matter how much we study. It does not matter how much we do chanting, how much devotional service we do. Our mind will someday will put us in trouble, and there will be downfall. And therefore, we have seen many great devotees also say downfall. So that downfall is not permanent. Lord is always protecting. But why to take that risk? And therefore, the instructions should act like a ankusha. And so liberation is achieved by devotional service, that is ananya nimitta bhakti yoga lakshana. So devotional service, that is ananya nimitta, that kind of bhakti yoga can grant liberation. But the question is, how can we get those kind of devotional service? How can I develop that kind of ananya nimitta bhakti yoga? How can I develop that ananya nimitta bhakti yoga? How is the process? So that is also described. So that is also described here. It says yada hi mahapurusa purusa prasanga. So therefore, this verse is very powerful. It describes that material is not liberation is not achieved by mechanical process. Liberation is achieved by only the devotional service. And what is the nature of the devotional service also described in the verse, and how that devotional service is achieved. He also described in the verse. So this verse is very powerful, and we should study this verse very seriously. So yada hi Mahapurusa Purusa Prasanga. So Mahapurusa is pure devotee of the Lord. And then Prasanga means intimate association or attachment. So uh, there are two ways when we that Ankusa, that the instructional devotee acts like Ankusa. One is by fear. So we are fearful. So, for example, if the devotee is staying in the Futa Brahmachari in the temple, and then the temple president says something, and if he's not following, he may be asked to leave. He may have to change. Similarly, if a person is working in a company and he does not follow his boss, then he may be asked to leave, and therefore, because of fear, they follow. But here to say that prasanga, intimate association attachment. The devotees, they follow the instruction of spiritual master not because of any kind of fear, but because of intimate association and attachment, because of love, but the devotion they have to their spiritual master, and that is why they follow the instruction. So until unless we develop this Mahapurusa prasanga, jadahi, until then, therefore, jada hi dharmasya. So similarly, jada hi Mahapurusa, Purusa prasanga. We, until unless we get that intimate association, intimate attachment with the devotee, it is not possible. So only when the soul comes in touch with great devotees, real bhakti awakens in the heart. So otherwise it's not possible. So that bhakti itself becomes the direct cause of liberation. So by Lord Krishna, the real key to liberation is not dry speculation, right? And or knowledge, but association with the pure devotee. So our guide to liberation is MAP. So I just try to summarize in a very simple word so that we remember this verse after the class. And the word is MAP. M is the mentor. So we should have a mentor. Mentor, I mean, a devotee to whom we have intimate and we have love. We are attached to his association. So if you are fortunate to meet a person, a devotee, accept him as your mentor. And although we say Prabhuji, right? We in ISKCON, it is a system that we call Prabhuji and Mata. Prabhu means you are my mentor, you are my senior, you are my guide, and I'm a servant. I need instruction from you. And the association is the door to bhakti. And then A for Ankusa. Ankusa means take the instruction like Ankusa, the iron rod that controls the elephant. So it is a very big elephant. A mad elephant is also controlled by the Ankusa. So even the mind is like a mad elephant. It gets controlled. And if we have a mentor to whom we have, we love him, we have intimate association, and we sincerely we respect him, and then we accept his mentor, and then his words are like Ankusa for us, and then it's very powerful. So this keeps the restless mind and senses under control, steering them toward Krishna. So I remember that once a few devotees were new devotees. They went for yatra, and then those new devotees, it was Ekadasi day, and they wanted to eat something outside. But because they loved the association and other devotees were not taking any food out from outside, they had something fruits with them, and they took it, and then so you see, otherwise they would have gone to some restaurant, they would have taken food, but because they love the association, they love their mentor, and therefore they did not take any food from outside, and they just took whatever was given, fruits or the prasadam. So the Ankusa. And then peace or practice or devotional service. So engage in practical devotional service, bhakti yoga under guidance. That means simply by knowing is not enough. Simply by knowing that devotional service is great and this and that, that is not enough. So one must practically get engaged in devotional service. Just knowing is not enough. And when this MAP, so this is our map. So our guide to liberation is map. So this map should be always in front of us. Mentor, Ankush, and practice a divine service. And then this is the key to our real liberation from this material world. And we should always remember this. And I have one more thing that I want to show you. And this is this game. So ignorance is bondage. So this is the last thing. So I was thinking that how ignorance is bonded. So many times we say that ignorance is bondage, but how it is? So you just look at this maze. It has three entry points, one on the top and on the corner and one on the left, but there is only one end point. So 1, 2, 3, 4. In fact, there is 4 entry points in this. 3 on the top, 1 on the left, and then there is one end point. So I mean, one can enter from different places, and then one can roam around here and there, but it is very easy for them to get lost. Sometimes, if they follow one path, they will come back to their original entry point. And sometimes you follow a path, you go to some up to some distance, and then you get a dead end. There is no way. So someone asked me that there are so many Vedic literatures, Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, and so many people are saying so much thing. How do I know this? So I said that you may learn many places, many things, but all are not correct. Some understanding will get you back to your point zero position, and some understanding of the Vedic literatures and Bhagavatam will take you to some distance. You may go very far away in the. You can say that I become realized devotee, but you will hit a dead end. There is only one way out in this maze. Only one way. You may enter from any place, but there is only one way that will take you to the end, and that is the pure devotional service. Ananya Nimitta Bhakti Yoga Lakshana. And that is only achieved when we get Yada, Mahapurusha, Purusha Prasanga. And when we have this Ya Aso Bhagavati, when we have this devotional service to whom? To Bhagavati, Vasudeva, Krishna. And that is also Ananya Nimitta Bhakti. Otherwise, there is no way. One can start, one may think that I will get liberated by speculative knowledge. Fine, you may start and you may feel that I am progressing in my life, but you will hit a dead end. You may start with austerity. You may start and you may go very far away, but you will hit a dead end. I mean, you start with any other processes, but it may seem that one is making progress in the life, but either you return back, Brahma Bhuna Doka, Punar Avartin Arjuna. One may rise up to the stage of Brahma Loka, but they again fall down. So the only way to go out of this maze is the follow the path. And that to follow the path, one must have this map. So that's all from my side today. I will stop here. Thank you very much for allowing me to study this. So whenever I get this chance, I'm very fortunate that I get a chance to study the slokas and also share. So please correct me if something is wrong. I'm still learning those things. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you for the very nice class, Prabhu. I would request the devotees to share their comments or reflections or questions, please.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, very nice. The maze example. Yes, many ways can be there. The only way to liberation is the Ananya Bhakti, devotional service, Prabhu. Thank you very much for the wonderful class. Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you very much for the wonderful class, Prabhu. Ankusha, you said, Prabhu, can you just explain about that Ankusha and the mind? How, like an Ankusha controls the mad elephant or elephant, how we can control our mind, you were telling, Prabhu, little bit explanation, can you?
Yes, Mother. So Ankusa is just like when it hits the elephant. It's like a pain to the elephant, and then it understands that I need to turn left, and then I need to turn right. So so sometimes I may not like to do something, but because I love the devotee, I love the association. So when he says that you need to chant 16 rounds today in the morning, then although it may be troubleful, but I follow it. So Ankusa is instructions are painful sometimes, but we follow the instruction. So then only mind is controlled. So mind is like it wants to be free. It wants to feel that I'm liberated. No one is above me. So in previously the husband used to be the Ankusa for the wife. So wife may not like something, but instruction or the words the husband used to be the Ankusa. So husband says this and that's it. And similarly, the father and mother and the Guru Maharaj and the seniors like elder brother to the younger one used to the Ankusa. And similarly, the teacher used to the Ankusa, the instruction is to Ankusa. So I may not like to study, but the homework is there. I need to finish that homework. I must do it. I must complete it. So that is how the mind gets controlled. And otherwise, if we are in a situation that happy go, so if you want always to be in happy situation, I like to do something, and I am in the association of devotee who says everything nice to me. So then that means there is no ankusha. So if the instruction pinches, if the instruction goes against the mind, it goes against my enjoyment spirit. Once there was a devotee, and then he used to sleep outside the ashram. And then it is the case with Bhakti Siddhanta Maharaj. So his holiness Bhakti Siddhanta Maharaj. So uh, devotee said that Maharaj, I think he will get liberated very soon because he's from so much austerity. And then Maharaj said, uh, not by sleeping outside because he's not following the instruction. When the devotee who are staying inside the ashrama, they are not ready to sleep outside if required, and that devotee is so proud of his austerity that if he asks that sleep inside, he's not ready to. So that ankusa is not there. So the control is not there. So until unless that ankusa is there, instruction is there, we follow it. We may like it, we may not like it. The mind will not be controlled.
Thanks. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavat Pranams. Thanks for that wonderful class, Prabhu. Prabhu, to get a nice mentor or even guru, they say we need mercy of the Lord, no Prabhu. So what we should do, Prabhu?
Mataji, we have mentor in our life at each step. So we have mentor as the husband, we have mentor as and the father and mother, we have mentor as the seniors, maybe sister or brothers. So one who has quality of that following the instruction with anyone who is there with them, or he may be smaller, but he may be knowledgeable, he may be a good one. So that quality has to be there, and and you pray to Lord, then based on our sincerity, we get a senior devotee, because the sincere devotees are very precious to Lord Krishna. And if we are not very sincere, that quality of obedience is not there within us. Lord may not send very sincere devotee in our life. He may send uh, not very sincere devotee in our life. So the idea is that we always think that I will get a perfect Guru Maharaj like Narada Muni. I will get a perfect Guru Maharaj like Vyasdev. I will get a perfect Guru Maharaj like Lord Brahma. I will get perfect Guru Maharaj like Lord Krishna himself. That is not the case. uh, we may get anyone in our life, like husband or father, mother, or in-laws. So that quality of obeying is has to be there. If the quality of obedience is there, then we will definitely get. And it's not that I need to get perfect one, because the instruction that is being passed even by the neophyte devotee, if he takes like just like a neophyte devotee like me, if we are talking a discussion in Bhagavatam, and the instruction comes to your mind, that I should act like Ankusha. I know one devotee who was very famous, and that devotee, he never met his Guru Maharaj in his lifetime before death. Just he met Guru Maharaj before death. So he read one book. In the book it was written that if you chant Hare Krishna Maha Mantra 24 hours a day, you will be able to get association of Lord Krishna one day. Not today, not tomorrow, but one day. That one day is not know when it comes. And the devotee, that he read one line, and he took this instruction from that book, and then he kept chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. He increased the number of chanting, and then he did it. And then just before his death, the spiritual master to whose book he read, he came to him, and he was very happy. So that is like the quality we should have. So I mean, we should not think that in my locality, in my temple, in the present life condition, there is no one like Narad Muni. There is no one like Prahlad Maharaj. There is no like Prabhupada. So we should not think like that. It's like the instruction, and the instruction that is coming from Lord Krishna in from books, in the form of Bhagavatam, is the perfect, and that instruction should become our anchors.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Dandavat pranams.
Any other questions or reflections from the devotees?
Thank you very much, Prabhu. You have strongly emphasized on the Ankusha part, which really inspired me. I'll remember this hopefully for a very long time. The importance, I think you have pressed it enough on our back. That's Ankusha. Really, you covered all the practical challenges devotees face when accepting instructions. Like you mentioned, the recent point, I really liked. We cannot wait for the perfect person within our environment and context. Whoever we have, we need to take that as the mentor and guide, and by in following the instructions, I think you we'll see the results, and our conviction will grow. That's just my realization from what you shared. You mentioned multiple. Just one quick question. Like we have different kind of authorities in our life. Like you started from family, parents, husband, and then the gurus, maybe in the institution, the authorities. So sometimes we we follow some of them, not all of them, and that's where I see we one against the other, and we kind of fall behind in getting the full benefit. Uh, is that if you can share something on that? I don't know if you have time, but
So probably just like we take example of Dhruv Maharaj. So the Mother Suniti, you may not say that she was the perfect like Narad Muni or Brahmaji or Vyasdev or anyone, but the instruction that the Lord can be found in the forest, and when once is placed, all the desire fulfilled. That instruction was enough for Dhruv Maharaj, and he went on. And when we went on the follow the instruction, he made the perfect man on this entire creation, Narad Maharaj himself. And so that is the point. So once we have this quality of following the authority, then Lord sees that yes, he's the person who will follow the authorities. For example, if I want to instruct someone, but I know that this person never follows the instruction of anyone, so I will be also afraid that should I instruct him or not, because he may not follow it. Similarly, that if that I mean, that quality is not there. So Lord has given us enough person in our life to practice that quality of being obedience and following the instruction. But for our upliftment in the life, we should have only one person, not many person, whose instruction we follow. That is very important, because if we have many persons, then it become very difficult. So we may follow, 10%, just like in a meeting. In a meeting, it is said that everyone's comments are invited, but the final decision will be of the chairman. That's whatever chairman says, I will follow it. But everyone's comment is invited. Similarly, we may have many seniors, many mentors in our life, and we follow because we have this quality of obedience. But I have one mentor who is the chief director of all the mentors, and if the instruction of all other mentors coincide with that mentor, I follow. If not, then I will follow the director. So that is how we should follow it.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you, Premavasya Prabhu, for another wonderful class. We will end the class with the Vaishnava Pranam today. Vancha kalpatarubhyasya kripa च पतिथानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय। जगत गुरु शिल प्रभुपाद की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you, devotees. We'll meet again tomorrow morning. Krishna will. Hare Krishna. I'll end the Zoom session now.